used to be the home dedicated to Satanism.
Then wait.
90 miles that direction, and you can swim to Florida. This was the first video I took stepping off the plane in Cuba, a country of 11 million people on a 780-mile long island. And no, you're not looking at a set from a 1950s movie. These classic cars are everywhere, shined up, patched up, and somehow still running despite 70 years of trade embargoes and zero access to an AutoZone. And they're not just for show either. These relics are taxis, delivery trucks, daily drivers, and we were lucky enough to hire one of the coolest to cruise us around in style.
Igual en Nicaragua, todo.
Ah, sí, sí.
Pero
sí.
en este caso, vaya, como lo dije, no está mal.
¿Cómo estuvo la entrada, Brian? ¿Bien? ¿Todo tranquilo?
Sí, tranquilo. Cuando yo vi a la gente de VIP, yo dije, bueno, vamos para allá. Porque yo no quiero meterme con ninguna cosa.
Yeah, they're probably getting 30 miles per gallon. That's
Crazy.
because they don't do crazy speed.
Yeah.
Like they're doing 80 miles an hour.
Right. Well, they're not doing any emissions here, I wouldn't think either.
No. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of tree hugging in this environment.
Probably not.
Costa Rica does, man. Yeah, and even Nicaragua was particular about that. We had to go through a lot of testing and all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's always payoffs.
What is the suspension under these 50s cars? They all look like they're 3/4 ton. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they don't look like your traditional, like,
They've lifted them somehow probably to clear the bad streets and stuff. Yeah, the bad entrances.
they're all like that.
Which may be.
This is our first full day here in Cuba. I'll give you a little bit of an idea of what we slept in last night. This is the room that we have. It's pretty basic, but I am very, very thankful that I do have this setting up here on my wall. Keeps this room nice and cool because the rest of this house is smoking hot. So the church from Costa Rica, a lot of those guys that came up here to meet us, they're going to be going to church with us today. Brian's going to be talking, so there'll be a whole lot of me not understanding anything that's going on. Let's go check out the rest of the day. what we got going on today.
Perspective is we're going to visit the La Lisa Havana, Cuba church that was purchased by Trailhead International in September of 2024. And then we're going to visit another church this afternoon that we hope to buy a property for. They're exploding at the seams with their children's ministry, youth ministry, adult ministry, and that's in an area called Los Pinos, Havana, Cuba. And then tomorrow, we're actually going to Guanabacoa, Havana, Cuba. And in Guanabacoa, we're actually purchasing a property for the church over there. But we'll be in the La Lisa church this morning and the Los Pinos church tonight. And we're going to try to get all of these congregations in a forever home. Yeah, secure location, like at least zipped up and locked. I have one in mind.
What do you want it?
You should be okay. I would just, as long as you got a stash, you should be fine.
It's perfect.
It's what?
It's in my secret location.
His dirty underwear drawer.
He had it in his shoes with a dirty sock in it, so that was pretty much good enough to protect anything. That's what
We're doing this.
Nobody wants to mess with a dirty shoe. And definitely nobody wants to mess with Bruce's dirty underwear.
That's right.
The people in this country are no more valuable than the people that are in Prosper, Texas. So, yeah, these people were created in the image of God, and
We got a guy right here. He's retrofitting out this car. Believe it or not, this car actually used to run on cheese, and now he has got a full engine going into it. Government cheese. So he is now taking the motor out of a moped and is retrofitting it into that. That and a blender. That's what these people do here, though. They will take a blender and they will run an entire factory making flip-flops.
I met a guy who took a washing machine, put a Briggs & Stratton motor on it, and got the motor to operate the washing machine. Now that guy was in Peru when he did that. When necessity is what is it?
Mother of invention.
Mother of invention.
That's a nice, cool little electric bike.
Oh yeah, the girls were on one of those last night. Julie, E.G. Sale that were there.
Uh-huh.
I almost yelled at you guys to come check it out and see if motors are there. So you can't be bouncing around too much, because if you bounce a long ways, and now people got to walk 2 miles more. Like, it'd be like the equivalent of somebody saying, "Okay, I know we're in Prosper, but we're going to move to Grapevine."
And then walk to Grapevine.
Yeah.
Puro militares.
Yeah, ese es donde vive Giselle, ¿no?
Giselle vive atrás. Como 300 metros.
¿Cómo es que ella vive era por sus papás? Last September 2024. Caleb is in the seminary, the guy with the tie. He looks like he would be related to Vanilla Ice.
Morning.
Yeah, this guy was out hunting properties for me.
Oh, okay.
We got this, yeah.
Very nice.
He's one of those guys that knows everybody in town.
Okay. All right, so what was this place here at where we're at?
This was a residence, but it was predominantly an area filled with Santeria, which is a form of voodoo originating in Africa. But it's basically satanic worship was in this particular location.
So they were sacrificing animals?
Yeah.
And
in
really?
fact, when they bought the property, they went in and they found all of the equipment used for the Santeria. And then they built a pile the day they bought it, and they burned everything that had to do with Santeria in this location.
So Santeria is what?
Santeria is basically a type of witchcraft.
Okay. Oh, and who are they worshiping? They worshiping Satan, or are they worshiping like some made up?
It's Satan. It's Satanism.
It is Satanism.
No, it's Satanism.
So, do they have multiple gods that they're worshiping, or is it just
Not that I'm aware of. It's just imagine a satanic worship center, and that's what they're doing. And there's a lot of voodoo, if you will, in the Caribbean, or Santeria, like they call it here. But most of it originates from African religions that are based in satanic worship.
So, are they teaching values at all with this stuff, like how to be? I mean, you know, in Christianity, we want to teach how to be a better person. Are they trying to teach anything to the people, or are they just hoping that they get like something back?
They're wanting something back. They're wanting something out.
Some kind of power, some kind of.
It's power.
Okay. Wow. Is this something that still they're doing to this day? Like it's still widely
all over Cuba, all over Cuba, throughout Jamaica, strong in parts of Nicaragua, very strong in this part of the world.
Now, do you think they're ever going beyond animals as far as sacrificing goes?
It's quite possible.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't have facts on that, but I would say yeah, it's quite possible.
Wow. Well, we got one out of the one place switched over.
Yeah, yeah. And they bought the property. They burned the Santeria artifacts. And they started church here the next Sunday.
Wow. Well, do you think they take an offering at these satanic places?
Normally, it's usually just one person or a single family that does the acts.
Okay. Yeah. And then they try to indoctrinate the rest of the community
usually
into it?
It passes from family to family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you think this was a family here? You think this was a congregation that was doing this?
It was a family that was involved in the Santeria, but they were very involved based on the artifacts that they left behind.
Wow. Yeah, you got to think what goes through somebody's brain to make them want to do that. Are they actually seeing something come out of it, or is it just coincidences that they're attributing to it? Like, oh, I found $1 today out on the road. Thank God I sacrificed that chicken last night or something.
I believe there is power in satanic worship, and I believe they do get something out of it.
Oh, you do?
I do. I believe
Okay.
I believe Satan can bless in many ways.
Okay.
Like God can bless us.
Okay.
Yeah, and then he does that to grow his worship.
Right. Right.
Yeah, because it's proven. I mean, this is not a cheap property, and it worked for them.
Yeah.
Pastor Alex is actually going to show us the spot inside the house where they had stored all of their satanic worship for Santeria inside this facility that we now call the church. And he's going to show us the location where they found everything. And he made a statement. He goes, "It's great to see a property that was dedicated to Satan now be the property that's winning people to Christ. And today we'll be having baptisms in this church that used to be a place of worship for Satan."
So how did we acquire the property? It just come up for sale?
It came up for sale. We did the asking, we did the calling, and Trailhead came through.
So was that listed in the descriptions, like a 3-2 with Satanism room?
No, that was not part of the propaganda.
So what did this property sell for?
By the time the smoke cleared, we were into this for right around $40,000.
For the whole property with the building?
Property, building,
So this is probably
flights to get here,
a fourth of an
registry,
acre?
and lawyer.
Oh,
Of an acre maybe? But it's on
I'd say a
corner?
fourth of an acre with a nice, I mean, this is a nice structure. That's a very nice structure. And technically, the way it's built, it could have a second floor added to it.
right.
Yeah.
Well, this is probably also the same construction of the building that we're staying in right now, and that's why it literally feels like we're sleeping in an oven.
Yeah. So they need a second floor
They need a...
just to cool it down.
Oh, look at this.
Muchas gracias. Now this is Cuban coffee. Now look in here. I would say, what would you say? There's maybe a fourth of an ounce or maybe half an ounce in there.
You think it's coffee or molasses?
Yeah, that right there is enough to wake you up for the rest of the day. So bottoms up.
All right.
Let's do it.
Oh, it's very sweet.
Yeah, they added sugar to this one.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Right?
Wow, that's very good. I like that.
Yeah.
What is it? Up, down, out, in.
I love it.
Isn't that
That's
a
epic.
Cuban thing?
Now,
Like, a guy at the airport showed me that.
it's almost 10 o'clock in the morning. I probably won't need to go to bed till like 3 o'clock in the morning tomorrow.
Well, I need about 4 more of these.
Okay.
Una foto, una
Okay, right now we're going to go into what used to be the home dedicated to Satanism, and we're going to see the location where they found all the artifacts of the Santeria worship. Oh, yeah.
Well, this has nicely been redone.
Aquí era el lugar.
Good.
Okay, right now I'm here with Pastor Alex. We've just had this shot of Cuban coffee that has enough caffeine to wake up a dead horse. And Pastor Alex, at the age of 19, while in the seminary, planted one of the churches of Familia Avance Costa Rica. His church and many other churches in Costa Rica are dedicated to reaching the lost here in Cuba. And this is one of the churches where Trailhead had the opportunity to buy this property with this building. Beautiful, beautiful facility done just right. I mean, they built this thing strong. And we got it really, by the time the smoke cleared, about $40,000 for something that would have cost us $80,000 plus to build. We're talking it has a wall around it, the facility, the home, but right here where this Trailhead International hat is, this was where when they bought the property and they walked in, they found all of the artifacts of Santeria. The Santeria is, in essence, worship of Satan. And so much of the time, this space right here is where they store Bibles, where they'll store hymns, where they'll store things of the church. And today, in this location where sacrifices were made, where Satan was worshipped, people have accepted Christ and will be baptized in this same location because of the generosity of people that have given to Trailhead to help Pastor Alex of Costa Rica help this Cuban church. We can't thank you enough. Yeah, it was full of stuff. They actually did a burn pile
Todo lo que había aquí,
of all the crap that was in there.
lo sacamos y lo que éramos
And
todo.
they took it all outside and they just broke it all up outside. Y después came out. So as you saw, we walked through the house. The church is paying for the renovations. They're rebuilding the inside, making it look nice. The church themselves extended and purchased all of this roofing, all this metalwork, so that they have this outdoor area to worship while they're remodeling, and then they'll continue to use this as well. They have a young man here by the name of Caleb. He serves in the church, and just to help him out a little bit, they give him 1,000 pesos a week.
Which is what in dollars?
Approximately $3 a week.
$3
help out.
$3 a week.
And so they pay
$3 a week. What we would pay for this at Starbucks.
Yeah.
Shoot.
And so
$12 for that.
So Trailhead's excited about what's going on here, and hopefully you'll meet Caleb. But Trailhead's going to give a very, very special offering to Caleb, who's dedicated his life. He has a new a 10-month-old baby. He's been married for a couple years now. He's in the seminary. He works odd jobs and works for the church at the same time, just to pay for life. The church actually pays the rent in their location and gives him an extra 1,000 pesos a week, which, like I said, is $3. Possible that Caleb will be one of the future pastors, and if they keep doing this, we're going to need more people with a little bit of generosity to buy more land and build more churches in Cuba, because they have 3 new young people from this church attending the seminary in San Jose, Costa Rica.
Oh,
Online.
I was about to ask, how do they go to seminary?
Online.
Yep.
So do you think that the government has any influence on churches here in Cuba, since they have so much influence throughout the whole country? Just in every walk of life, they influence the
How we would say it is,
the labor, everything.
how we would put it is, they walk on eggshells.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's how we would put it.
So do you think that the Cuban government likes churches, or has no comment, or?
I think they just put up with it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
You think if they had their way, they would have no churches?
correct. Remember, religion has been considered a philosophy by many and an enemy by more.
Uh-huh.
It's not just a philosophy to many countries, it's an enemy. And so the gospel, when you speak truth, it will become the enemy by someone. And so this church right here, it just keeps reaching people, keeps reaching people. Now they have 3 kids in the seminary. We're going to be baptizing today. The Cuban people are open to the gospel.
When you say seminary, where's your seminary?
Costa Rica.
Okay.
And so
Does Trailhead pay to get them from Cuba to Costa Rica?
No,
Do it online.
They're online.
Oh, it's all online.
So it's all done by what's called Familia Avance Costa Rica, started by John Barnes approximately 54 years ago. And the pastors today continue that seminary, continue that ministry, and made sure that these young people in Cuba would be able to study online and get their degree with the seminary in Costa Rica.
And I might be mistaken, but I believe college is free in Cuba.
That's what I understand.
So if that's the case, we're persuading them not to go that route, or maybe go that route and do this at the same time.
They're going this route, period.
Oh, okay.
They're all in.
How long
Right.
does it take to go through seminary?
4-year degree, 4-year undergrad. And they also offer a master's in Costa Rica.
So whenever you get done with that, you have your angelology, anthropology, soteriology, bibliology, all your core theologies, and then they also do like hermeneutics and
Hermeneutics, homiletics, but they're also going to do finances, things of that nature. They're going to have Spanish courses, English courses, everything else.
So do they have like the 3 people that are going to seminary online? Are they studying together, ministering together? They have people that's overseeing them here.
Yes. Yeah. And Don Alex is technically the pastor of this church. The other churches here are pastored by Cubans. This church is actually a satellite church of the Loto, Costa Rica church.
So that's what they're going to show that on the TV this morning?
Not today.
Okay.
Normally they would, but since Don Alex is here, they won't do that. I don't know. I assume Don Alex is speaking today, but we'll see.
Okay.
Normally I do, but didn't want to do it with the wrong visa.
There's a heaven. There is a hell. We get to do something about it.
Yeah, that's right. And there's 8.3 billion people.
There is one heaven and one hell, and if you do the wrong thing in Cuba, you go to jail. Hey Brian, is the taxi here yet?
Oh, you mean this taxi? Did you forget where we're at? We're in Havana, Cuba.
I'm not sure what this came out of, maybe a John Deere. But look at the care and the maintenance that this car has in it. It's just amazing. Nothing screams Cuba more than this car with this guy right here. Air conditioning, I mean, this is the full gamut here. This probably didn't even have air conditioning when it rolled off the line.
No, this didn't have a heater rolling off the line. I used to drive a 58 Chevy, and literally the heater was an option.
Oh, yeah. So we made our way to another church right down the road from where we're staying. And this is a church that Brian is invested in with the pastor. I think they're still looking for themselves to have a home. This is a night service. Normally it's reserved for just the youth, but they invited all the folks, all the adults to show up and come to this. So we're gonna go and take a look at this one. This one's a little bit more unique. This is in a house in the very back of the house. So this garage, it's got a pretty Pretty neat little backyard here. So how many people do you think we're running here at this church?
I'd have to ask you, but it's packed out, and they don't even normally have adults here at night. They have 2 services in the mornings to fit everybody. So yeah, I think his church is probably not going to couple 100 with everybody.
Are we leasing this spot?
Oh yeah, that's just he is.
Oh, he's leasing this spot. Is Trailhead supporting this pastor?
We send a little bit for Avance Sports. That's it.
Okay, so he's also doing an Avance Sports.
He's the director of Avance Sports now.
Okay, in Cuba?
For us, yeah.
Okay, all right. All of Cuba.
Well, for the 4 churches of Familia Avance.
Gotcha. Okay, what's their main sport that they're doing right now?
Soccer is the main one, almost always. But I was just talking to, they got a guy in judo, a couple guys in judo. They got a guy that works government security here. He's a specialist in judo as well. So I threw out the idea tonight because we have karate in Panama. We have taekwondo in Costa Rica. So why not start a Avance Sports judo here in Cuba if it's a popular sport?
Right.
Yeah, but soccer is going to be the king almost everywhere.
Sure.
But we do have in Africa rugby. Baseball would be huge. The one thing about Avance Sports that we learned is you have to have sports that you can flip if you want to use it for a quick ministry. So, like if I do baseball, I can do maybe I don't know, maybe 100 kids in a week or whatever in a tournament. If I do soccer, I can do 2,000 kids in a week in a tournament. And so the point becomes. Where's the outreach potential the highest? Yeah.
All right. We're going to have to shut it down. We're not going to be able to get much more commentary with this noise.
Yeah.